Hey guys, my name's Hayden and I'm Another Beardy Gamer, recording this for Meeple's People's Circus. What I have in front of me here today are 3 different inserts for very popular games. I have the Broken Token organising crate for Elder Sign, plus all the expansions. I have the Folded Space insert for Forbidden Stars, and I also happen to have the E-Raptor insert for Arkham Horror 3rd Edition. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I am something of a aficionado for improving games. I like inserts, I like extra tokens, I like bits and bobs. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at these 3 different options for insert manufacturers between Broken Token, Folded Space and E-Raptor. Let's take a look inside the Broken Token one. So what we have here, guys, is the Arkham crate, the Arkham Museum crate for Elder Sign, which is one of the Arkham Horror Files games by Fantasy Flight. So if we pop the box open, in true Broken Token fashion, we have lovely packaging, all the space is used, and we actually have some nice clear instructions in how to go through with everything. Usual things for Broken Token is they advise using a scalpel to just clean off the edges, a bit of sandpaper, general wood glue, nice mallet. You do need a little bit of patience and ideally some know-how with some tools to be able to work through this effectively. But the design of this crate is not to actually fit into the inside of an existing box. So I suppose earlier me calling this an insert was a little bit of a misnomer. This is to replace the core box and allow all of the expansions to go in the same place. So it has very, very clear instructions as to how to build the lid, the base, each of the different organizer trays. And that's one of the things that I've always really liked about the Broken Token inserts or crates, is they are very, very clear about how these go together. And if ever you're unsure, if ever you're not 100% with it, Broken Token also do a little video. Let me just hold that up and you might be able to see it a little bit clearer on the camera there. They actually do recorded videos on their YouTube channel of how to build these step by step and also where all the little components go. If we were to bring out our components, we've got acrylic pieces. The acrylic is already, as you can see, starting to come out here. It's covered with its protective layer, which just needs peeling off. I'm going to pop that over to one side. And then we have our lovely laser engraved, laser cut MDF wood. So some of these will be for the actual outsides of the box itself, but every piece, so we can check it's all there from Broken Token, is engraved with the barcode of what it's actually to be building, and also it's number 9 out of 13, or it's number, in this case, 10 out of 13, so we can see exactly what we've got. We can go through the contents and make sure that we have everything that we need. Now the Broken Token stuff, when it's laser cut, it's very easy to get out of the actual molds. You can just rotate, snap, done. There we go, we're out. It does leave a few little burrs on the side. This is why they advise having things like a scalpel to hand, and it just means that you can tidy the edge up. When I come to actually build these, what I'll end up doing is taking a sander across all of this to smooth off the wood. You don't usually have to do that, it's not an absolute must, but I do find I get the occasional wood burr or bit of splinter off here. So what I'll end up doing when I build this is sanding it all down, probably staining it and sealing it as well, just to make it look nice and pretty. So I'm just going to pop that back into the space it came from for now, and pop that back into there. Now I will be doing a separate video about how this all goes together, but that's pretty standard for the inside. Ooh, that's some of the acrylic escaping for the inside of a Broken Token insert box, if you're not quite familiar with them. That's what we're getting for Arkham, that's what we're getting from Broken Token. Usually, well, as usual for them, very nice quality wood, very clear instructions. I really like Broken Token inserts. I've got one for Scythe, I've got the actual outside crate for Firefly. The thing that I really like about these is they make the games, particularly the larger games, a lot more playable, a lot quicker to set up, a lot quicker to tear down, and the crates and the trays are actually used as trays within the game. So that's what we find inside our Broken Token set. Moving on then from the options for Broken Toad, we're going to take a look now at Folded Space. Now Folded Space, instead of using laser cut wood, these guys work with foam board, which keeps a lot of the weight down. So we're going to take a look inside the box for Folding Space now. Let's take a peek. So the first thing about this box from Folded Space is they normally have a coloured printed sleeve that goes over the top of them. I picked this up at UK Games Expo, so they basically were just giving out the boxes with the details on. The sleeve doesn't really add much beyond what it looks like. So let's crack this open. Being foam board inserts, it doesn't need quite a heavily reinforced box as our Broken Token components. And straight away in there we have the instructions. Now the instructions for these, not quite as clearly laid out, I would say, as well produced as the Broken Toad set, but still very, very clear in what it is expecting us to do in each stage. So it gives us an overview of what our trays actually are, what we should have in the pack. It gives us step 1, step 2, finished assembly and all of that jazz. And it tells us which parts we need from each tray as we go to build each component part. Now I quite like that aspect of it. We then have the build components here as to how everything goes and fits into the core box. Now this insert is specifically designed for Forbidden Stars, which is a game originally by Fantasy Flight, made off of one of their Games Workshop licenses. The idea of this insert, and the whole reason I bought this insert, was to try and get this game to the table a little bit more often and to make it a little quicker and a little bit easier to set up. Because for me, that's always the point of an insert. It has to improve the whole game experience. So there are our instruction sheets. They can go off to one side. Now, as I said to you earlier, this is foam board, which I think is pretty cool. It's really lightweight, there's nothing to it, and it's not going to add a huge amount of weight to the box. Now for me, that is one of the major selling points of these Folded Space inserts. They are really well produced, they're laser cut, again, I think, as opposed to die cut. I could be wrong on that. To be perfectly honest, I think they are actually die cut. There's no real burn marks around the side that I would expect to see with a laser. But board after board after board. Another advantage to this foam board is it's not going to need sanding, it's not going to need staining. However, I'm not 100% sure that just normal PVA glue will cut it. I might actually have to go out and get something a little bit thicker, maybe some Yoo-hoo, like crazy glue. I do have friends that have built a lot of Folded Space inserts before, and they tell me, it doesn't need gluing, but I'm paranoid and I like permanency. So I will get some glue out for these. In terms of how easy it is to pop this, well, let's have a go. Let's pop this section out here. Now the foam board itself bent a little there as I was popping it, but that's the outside frame. The actual component piece, that feels quite sturdy. The edges, like I said, you can tell these are foam board. There's a little bit of mismatch between where the actual foam centre is and the plasticard outer piece, but I think these will go together just fine. Quite looking forward to it, actually. This is going to be a fun one to build. Now I have this insert for Folded Space for Forbidden Stars. I also have a second Folded Space insert for Mansions of Madness. So I'm looking forward, as I said, to getting these together, getting these built, and seeing just how these can improve the game. But that's what we find inside the box from Folded Space. So what I'm going to do for the time being is pop this away, and then we will take a look at our next contender for inserts. Moving on then from folded space, we've got one more of our insert designers to take a look at, and that is eRaptor. Now eRaptor have gone back to using a laser cut wood method, but the interesting thing about the eRaptor inserts is they claim to not need wood glue at all. They are snap together, which would be quite an interesting one to have a look through. So let's pop this open and have a look what's inside. Last insert for us to take a look at in this video for just the general overview, folks, is made by eRaptor. So eRaptor are a Polish company. They make quite a few inserts and gaming aids, play area organisers. I actually have a couple of their card stacks for bigger games like Eldritch Horror, or back when I used to play a lot of Talisman. Really, really good for that. So, the big selling point of these eRaptor inserts is they apparently do not need any glue, which you can hopefully see there, assuming that I'm not casting horrendous shadows. No glue required. The big selling point of this is that it can be just snapped together by its design. So let's pop this open and have a little look-see. Now, I've never seen, nor have I built, nor do I really know anyone who has eRaptor inserts. So this is one of the test pieces that I got. And straight away, very, very nice looking packaging. It's actually got a little sealed bag in there, although there's a bit of a rip in the top. It's not MDF from the looks of it. It is particle board, chipboard, whatever you might want to call it. And oh, that's the bit that just fell out. So again, it is a laser cut piece. Everything on here you can see has been laser cut because we can see the burn marks on one side. I totally did not just sniff that then. I totally don't really like the smell of laser cut wood. So just looking at how, let's put this back into there, the general pieces lie. Arkham Horror 3 Ed, 5 out of 5, 3 out of 5. So the individual boards are again very, very clearly labelled as to what is what. Now, the last time I made an insert out of this kind of particle board material was for Kingdom Death, and that was from, oh, do you know, I can't even remember where I ordered that one from. But I found that when I tried to seal it and paint it, it really, really soaked the paint up. It just drank it in. It had a really strange surface finish to it. So we've got these 5 boards. Ah, that's better. It's a zip seal bag. It was just ripped on one side. What we don't actually have in the set itself, from the looks of things, is a page of written instructions. If I just have a little nosy through, nope. There are no written instructions given for this particular insert, but I like the way that the clips are actually made to actually slip together. They are very cleverly designed, so I do think this really will live up to its claim of I need no glue to build it. I am really excited about putting this together. Now, this is not the only eRaptor insert that I bought. They were doing a sale, so I also picked up one for Gloomhaven. Very much sold on the fact that it was snapped together. In hindsight, I'm kind of wishing I'd have gone with something like the folded space option for Gloomhaven, purely because of the added weight. Gloomhaven's already quite a big box. This is just going to add a bit more weight to it. My hopes for this, for Arkham Horror 3rd, is that it will allow for a couple of expansions, because we have just had the announcement from Fantasy Flight Games for the first sort of big expansion, and we know how much FFG like to expand on their Arkham Files games. So let's pop that back in there. Well, of course, that's just popped open again. At least there's a nice bit of spacing with the laser cutting. We'll fold this up for now. So the big thing for this is, where do we get the instructions? If there's none in the box, I guess we'll have to follow this QR code and link on the actual front of the box that will lead us to the manual. So if I just pick that up there, for us to actually get the manual on here, we're going to have to follow this QR code and find out whether that leads to a video, possibly, or to a... Sorry, brain switched off for a moment there. To a video or to a set of written instructions. So let's have a quick nose and see if my camera picks up that QR code. it is a PDF. Yeah, I'm listening to Song of Ice and Fire as an ebook at the moment. Right, so in terms of quality of instructions here, yeah, I'm not thinking you'll be able to see this so well on my phone, especially with reflections from light sources within the room. I suppose it saves on printing for them. Fairly clear in terms of the layout and in terms of which piece goes where. I think the proof of the pudding for this one is going to be in the eating. It's going to be in how well it goes together. So these are 3 different inserts, but I am very, very keen on getting these all built and seeing how they work. And there you have it, folks. 3 options from very different manufacturers, admittedly for very different games. So I hope you'll join me in some of my future videos where I'll look through building the inserts so I can get all of Elder Sign together in the one place, so I can make Forbidden Stars much easier to set up, and so I can also get rid of all the baggies I have for Arkham Horror 3rd Edition. Hopefully I will see you again soon on Meeple People Circus. I've been Another Beardy Gamer. Happy gaming, folks.